Yo, what's going on YouTube? This your boy Kamen Zero Spike back again once again. And today, people, we're for Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger episode 18, and there's a lot going on in this episode. We got two brand new forms, well, two new variations of a form. A horrible plan gone bad. Some parallels between two different characters going on. Some fighting, of course, and some plans being executed, but I did love in this episode how I'm gonna be all over the place with this. There's a lot to think about when it comes down to this episode. There's a lot going on, but we get the reveal of a crown basically only for Shu Gundam, and basically it is you can only use this crown if you are considered a true king for Shu Gundam Shogunam, a true king for Shogunam, and also the founders of is a crown of the founders, and everybody who is a descendant of the founders or who are considered a true king can use this crown. And this crown was awesome. I mean, it looks like a Burger King crown, but it gives you like this massive power up. And we see that now that Gira has been shown, Gira is now facing off with Raculus again. We see that's when Raculus uses this crown after having to fight off Diorg from Diorg not standing down when he told him to. We see that he fights off Diorg and uses this crown to basically take out Gira. When he takes out Gira, he doesn't kill him, but he ends up taking him out. We end up seeing this freaking crown, this big golden form that Raculus actually pulled out of his butt. But yeah, we see that he gets rescued. Gira gets rescued by Jeremy and taken back to Ishibana, where he speaks with the rest of the kings. We see that Rita goes to Shogunam to try and arrest Raculus because he basically initiated an assassination on Yanma, which is very, very bad. So it's like they want to arrest him, but his lackeys basically said that, oh well, he was just defending himself because Yanma basically insinuated an attack first. And yeah, so they go back to Ishibana and they basically give Gira permission to actually fight Raculus now that Raculus knows that he is alive. So we see that Gira did remember something about this crown, and he tells everybody that, oh, I wasn't keeping this a secret. I didn't know nothing about this crown until I actually saw it. So we see that they did talk about Dabowski and how they really can't trust him or whatever. And then Rita says that if he keeps acting as Raculus' accomplice, they're gonna have to arrest him too. Which, yeah, so we see that they basically make the plan to go to Shogunam and basically capture Raculus and bring him to justice. So we see that we have a conversation with Gira and Dabowski, and he basically tells Dabowski that there's stuff that I remember I haven't told anybody about it, but I'm not even sure I should be telling you. And he ends up telling Dabowski about what his sister Suzume was actually doing when after they left the room and stuff. Like, she seemed like she was crying. She is still kind of pretending to do all this stuff when it comes down to Raculus, and she's she's trying to keep up her own appearance, but you see that she does kind of hate it there. Well, she does hate it there, not kind of, she does hate it there. And he ends up telling that to Dabowski, and Dabowski has his own plan that he has going on, where he ends up he wanted to steal Black King-Ohger Zero. He wanted to steal that, but he realized that he couldn't use it. He couldn't make it activated in any kind of way. And we see that he goes back to Shogunam to try and infiltrate some more, but he ends up getting caught by the Shogun soldiers. But when he gets caught, you see that his sister kind of steps in, and she basically sits on the throne and says that, hey, I can sit on this throne because I am basically Rakulus's fiance. So my brother, the only way I'm gonna let you come out, I'm gonna forgive you. And you have to get on your knees and pretend to be a rhinoceros beetle. So he ends up pretending to be a rhinoceros beetle, making all these sounds and completely humiliating himself. And she starts and she's laughing at him, but she's giving a signal where she's kicking the bottom of the throne, and there are a bunch of gears at the bottom of the throne, which is basically supposed to symbolize that is a key. Now, I went back to episode 1, and those keys were not there at first. They weren't freaking there. So I mean, hey, I guess kind of writing as they go. I don't know, not writing as they go. It's pretty good, but that basically insinuates that this gear is a key that he's able to use to get that lance that he used to fight Gira earlier. There's the big red lance. That's where that lance is. It's under the throne. If you twist it, it's under there. He can grab it. So after that, we see that Gira is we see that the rest of a bunch of the Bugnarok are attacking Ishibana, and we see everybody's kind of like all fighting them and stuff like that. We see that Jeremy's really not in this episode because the guilt of everything that's been happening so far until he got there is kind of gotten to him, and he feels like, you know, maybe the world would be better off if he wasn't in it. So, but yeah, we see that the rest of the other Rangers are fighting off the Bugnarok that have basically invaded Ishibana, and we see that Rakulus suits up in the Black Koaga Zero. After while he's in that, we see that he's getting ready to basically like destroy and fight off Gira and the rest of the other Rangers. But that's when Dabowski shows up inside of Koaga Zero with Rakulus, and actually shows basically airs out everything, and he decides. We see that his other plan that he had, when they went into the room, back in that episode, when they went into the room, he went to go check on Suzume. He ends up handing her a piece of paper where he says that he plans on stealing the Black Koaga Zero, and I need you to stay here just a little bit longer for that. So we get back to, he ends up stealing the lance that's up on the big red lance that's under the throne, while he breaks into the Koaga Zero with Rakulus, and he ends up airing out his entire plan to Rakulus and telling him all the stuff about how he's been infiltrating him and stuff like that. And he ends up stealing the crown away from Rakulus. And Rakulus tells him that, hey, you can't use that crown because you're not like from Shogunam. You're not a real bloodline of it. And Dabowski tells him that, hey, I know somebody who is. So he runs down. He ends up giving the lance and the crown to Gira, which Gira ends up using the crown and ends up transforming and summoning all of the Shu Gods. He's able to summon all the Shu Gods. When he summons all the Shu Gods, even God Tarantula, he's able to summon God Tarantula, and creating the King-Ohger, King-Ohger, and ends up creating that. And he ends up fighting Rakulus, who is the Black Koaga Zero, ends up fighting him off. And this Ultra Zoro, this King Koaga Zero, this King Koaga looks really weird. I mean, it's all the Shu Gods, and then it's like all 3 Guardian Spirits, and then it's like God Tarantula at the same time, and it looks really weird. It's so freaking bulky. It's not compacted or anything. It's just big, which we've seen in Sentai before, but still, it's just big. And it's just, it has a bunch, it just don't make sense. It just feels like God Tarantula should be doing something else. God Tarantula itself is in itself its own freaking Megazord. So it's like, so they end up defeating Rakulus, and we see that Gira still has the crown. We see that Rakulus goes back to the goes back to the castle, and we see he is intercepted by Kamen, and Kamen tells him that, hey, welcome to Shugandam. He said, welcome to Shogadam, where humans and Bugnarok live together in peace. And we see that a bunch of grunt Bugnarok have basically infested the city. And we see Darknarok, who basically says that Shogadam is mine now. And yeah, the episode basically ends with Raculus all beat up all to hell, and we see that the Bugnarok have basically taken over Shogadam. The episode ends off right there, but next episode we're going to see they're actually going to call themselves Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger, and they're actually going to go and fight off the rest of the Bugnarok in Shogadam. And this episode was cool. I mean, I felt like, well, when it came down to the Raculus and Gira re-meeting each other again, it didn't feel as impactful. We did get some good flashbacks though of the parallels of how they were when they were kids, and we see how Raculus talked about how he wanted to make like a perfect sort of kind of world. He wanted the kingdom to be nice, prosperity, and people, you know, he was much nicer as a kid. But when you look at it, the parallels of Raculus is, you know, Kid Raculus is on Gira, but then the parallel of Kid Gira is on Raculus, and it's kind of weird of how they kind of did that, because you got the good brother over here, the nice innocent brother over here, but he's mirrored on the side of the evil big brother. And it was so weird. It was like so weird to me to think that, okay, so is that why they're both considered true kings? Because they both can use the they both can use the crown. So I'm thinking that maybe Raculus right now is basically how he always was, and he kind of lost his innocence. And Gira that we got now is like, Raculus right now is like the personification of what Gira pretends to be, you know, the tyrant king and stuff like that. But then, like, it's weird. It's kind of complicated, but I don't know where to go with it. I don't really know where to go with that. The way they framed it, the way how both of them are framed in that scene, where they're like the polar opposites, but like each younger, the younger selves aren't matching the older selves. They're on parallel sides. So I wonder how that's really going, and also be able to explain later on how did Gira lose his memories of this. I feel like Raculus had something to do with it. But other than that, this episode was cool. The whole Gira re-meeting Raculus was a little bit too underwhelming for me, but the reveal of these two new forms look kind of cool. I hate to say it. Raculus, his golden form looks better. His golden form looks better than Gira's, because Gira's is just too gold. It's too gold. But then when we come down to Raculus, it still complements his regular ranger form. It still incorporates those colors into his regular ranger form, while also giving him this gold armor. And you can see that their gold armor looks kind of different from each other. If you got really, really good eyes, you see, you know, how different those two golden forms look. But other than that, you guys, let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think of this episode of Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. As remember, as I always say, guys, stay henshined.